Welcome back to the Check Swing Podcast. It is Wednesday, not Tuesday. It is Wednesday, 8 o'clock. We are live. Thanks for hanging with us. Thanks for being here with us. Um, we got a lot to go over. It's been a week. There's some things that have gone down. There's some things that are going down. Um, and we're going to talk about a bunch of them. We're going to talk about a bunch of them. Before we get into that, of course, the particulars. If you want to holler at us, you can give us a call while I open up the phone lines because I realized that I didn't do it before I left. Or not left, but I did leave, but only Miguel knows that. Not
Now everybody knows.
everybody knows. But you can give us a call. You can hit us up. You can call us on our line. And as I'm trying to find a number while on the fly, you can call us up at 727-3 start that over. 727-731-8267. That's the number to call. If you want to text us, you get us on our 24-hour text line anytime. 24 hours a day or night. Whenever you want to hit us up, you can hit us on the text line if you have a thought about something. If you have an opinion about something, if you have a gripe about something we said, it doesn't even matter. If you want to give us a topic idea, doesn't matter. You get us on the text line. That number is 484-606-6061. You see it scrolling there at the bottom of the screen. And of course, as always, you can always put your thoughts in the chat. And we might even put it on air. We might do that. But let's get in the show. And of course, before we get in the show, I got to ask my folks how they been. But before I do that, I see Miguel getting ready. Before I do that, I want to say this. I got to start over. Welcome back to the Check Swing Podcast with myself. And of course, my man, Coach Sanders, who's down in
Baltimore, having big fun.
Down in Baltimore, holding it down. And I like to ask my folks before we get started, I like to ask my folks how they been. So, Miguel.
Sir.
How you been?
I've been well, sir. As you can see, I'm donning the garb of Vision Select Baseball, which I am part of now. We have a scrimmage on Saturday against Owing Mills up in the Owens Mills area. I'm still new to anything outside of Baltimore City. So
It was like Owens Mills and Dundalk and all that. You're still trying to figure
I
all
mean,
that
yeah. So Dundalk is like a rich upper K&A. If I had to put, like a neighborhoodish to it, Owings Mills would be like a lowbrow King of Prussia.
I was going to say the areas of Owings Mills I've been to have been pretty King of Prussia ish. Definitely.
Yeah, and it's
lowbrow. I just say it was King of Prussia ish. I mean, you've seen it more recently than I have, so I don't know. But.
I mean, they're building more plazas and stuff like that, more fancy stuff. I mean, there's a lot more. The one thing I will say I do like about Baltimore is that there's a lot of niche kind of stores and restaurants, but there's also like a lot of mom and pops. Like there's a lot of local. Like there's like a Miss Shirley's soul food place. There's like a lot of local crab places. There's a couple of pop-up wannabe Philly cheesesteak places, but it's like.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I went to turn my phone down. I accidentally opened up a video.
So one thing I will say between this week and last week, I've been having a conversation with a personal friend of mine who has been calling me out on something on the show, and she's telling me that you've been a bad influence on me on
me.
Yeah. So I didn't realize I was doing it, but sometimes like when I talk, like let's say you say AJ Brown, right?
Mhm.
And sometimes what we'll do is like we'll pause and then we'll sigh. So I'll be like AJ Brown, like so she claims that now she knows where I get it from because I didn't used to do it before until you and I, kind of started the show. So you've been the cause of my loud pauses.
Is this someone that you've known prior to us starting the show by chance?
No.
So, to whoever the person is, I just want to say this. Coach Sand has been doing that well before we started the show.
You down and dirty liar. Are you serious?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I
We've
caught
definitely.
this from you.
I mean, you may have because we've known each other for a while prior to starting the show. So
This is
it's
true.
very possible that could be true. But when we were coaching together, you would do that sometimes too.
But see, coaching is
I didn't
different.
really pick up on it until you just said something now.
See, but coaching is different because like we pause to avoid cussing. That's strictly that's
Probably
the
what you're doing on the show.
yes.
It's probably what you're doing on the show. Because yes, we do pause because as coaches, we do have to think about what we're going to say before we say it. We really do, because especially when you're coaching youth, you definitely have to think about it. A lot of times I don't, and stuff will fly out, and I'll be like, might get a phone call about that one. Never
Mhm.
have, never have. But yeah, sometimes you gotta think about it. You gotta take a pause. And any coach, anybody that's coached out there and has coached youth out there, they probably know. Yeah, sometimes you gotta take a pause. You gotta think about what you say before you say it.
Sometimes.
Phil, you have a game Saturday, a
Yes.
scrimmage game Saturday.
Yes.
Um, the team now that I mean, I don't know if I'm pretty sure I've said it on the show that I'm back coaching. I was supposed to be retired from coaching as of 2 years, but now I'm back. And our team was supposed to have a game on Monday, but as you experienced in Baltimore and I experienced here in the Philadelphia area, excuse me, there was some bad weather on. Sorry, I was trying to keep it from
Dude, you eat on air, you belch on air. What else is gonna come out of you?
none of your business. That would be none of your business. Um, but we do have a game tomorrow. We have a game tomorrow, so it'll be our first game of the season against a rival. A rival known as Academy Park. For those that may know the area, Academy Park High School is one of our rivals. So it should be interesting. It's going to be cold, and Miguel, you know very well. I do not like being outside.
He doesn't. So as a coach, he doesn't like the cold. He doesn't like it being extremely warm. He doesn't like bugs within 3 feet of his 30 feet of his face. He will dress up like
Stop you
a.
when you lie.
Huh?
I'll stop you when you lie.
I mean, I can keep going, but yeah,
I,
there's
I
a.
know. I
I
know.
remember the what was it? The first game that you and I had coached together, and I remember you were doing IO, and you were dressed up so you were bundled up so much
Mhm.
that your jacket was releasing air every time you swung
Hey, listen. When
because
it's
he was
cold
like
out,
walk, walk. I like
when
he
it's
had a
cold out,
scarf.
I don't. I don't. If I gotta be out
Yeah,
there, I can see. If one, There's one thing if I was playing. I'm coach. I'm standing there.
but 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 he,
Cold.
but okay, if you're playing, but I mean, didn't you play like when you played at Maryland Eastern Shore? I mean, the season starts in February, March. Didn't you play in games that were like 10 degrees, 12 degrees, or whatever?
I wasn't good enough to play that early in the season, so I was sitting in the dugout, very cold. I was sitting in the dugout. No, we had games where it snowed. So yes, it was very cold. It was very cold. Actually, we were supposed to play a game. I remember one year it was like our homecoming weekend. It was supposed to be our opening weekend. It actually was ice on the ground, and they were really considering us playing this game.
Mm.
Supposed to play St. Joe's University. But anyway, um, now that we've went down memory lane and bored everybody, Uh, we do have a show to get to. We do have some things we want to talk about today, and one of the big things, probably the biggest thing that we're going to talk about today, is the United States. Um,
Choking.
they played in the World Baseball Classic final, WBC final. Um, honestly, after losing to Italy, I was kind of surprised that they made it to the final. I was really expecting them not to make it to the final. I was expecting the Dominican Republic to win. Um, and aside from controversial calls on both sides, United States came away with the win in that game. And but last night, mind you, I forgot the game was on. I forgot the game was on. I turned it on in the seventh inning, and Venezuela was already up 2-0. And it was funny to me because it was just like, okay, this is funny to me because of the tensions between United States and Venezuela right now. And here is Venezuela here playing our pastime, our national pastime. Could be theirs too, I have no idea, but are playing our national pastime and beating us in our national pastime on our own soil. I got a kick out of that. Right. So then I text some of my homies. I'm in too many group chats. I text some of my homies in one of the group chats. And I said, yo, this is hilarious. United States is losing to Venezuela. It's the bottom of the seventh inning, blah, 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 blah. And of course, what happens in the ninth inning? Bryce effing Harper. Bryce Harper crushes a ball. Crushes a ball. He crushed this ball, y'all. Crushed it. Um, dead center. A shot for the ages. Tied the game up. And of course, as we know, Venezuela comes back in the ninth inning. And they come back and win by one, win the game 3-2. Congratulations to Venezuela. Congratulations to the country of Venezuela. Um, Miguel, I'm going to go in the order of what you put in the notes because Miguel put a great show together there today, y'all. Harper congratulates the Venezuelans. I'm going to let you take the floor on this because I have my own feelings about it, but I'm going to let you take the floor on this. What were your thoughts about that?
Well, the first thing I was thinking, because I think Bryce Harper, at least here in Maryland, from baseball parents that I talk to, my players, my former players, they consider Harper a little bit of a like a, I don't know, like a show pony or whatever, or a show dog, and that he does things for the camera and stuff like that. But for people that don't know, the first person he congratulated was Ranger Suarez, who's Venezuelan, on the Venezuelan team. That's his former teammate of what, 7, 8 years. So I'm surprised I actually don't see more of it at the end of like the World Series or at the end of playoff series, things like that. I mean, I get it. You're devastated about the loss, but I think baseball is the only sport where the teams don't meet at the end to like handshake or anything like that. All the other sports they do. You know what I mean? Um,
You talking about internationally or?
just baseball as a sport. I mean, I think internationally, I think it's done, but like
I
I'm
thought
talking about
that's
what.
the only sport that they. You talking about
So
shaking hands? Then I'm not. I'm
yeah,
not
at the end of games, right? So like
professionally.
professionally, yeah, like when if for on America when baseball's played on American soil, the American World Series, right?
Mhm.
Team wins. The coaches will go back into like their tunnel or whatever in the clubhouse and shake hands or whatever, but you don't ever see players like
Oh,
coming
you
up.
can do like okay, I thought you were kind of talking about how they do in the youth where they line up and say good game, or like that. I thought
Right.
you
I
were.
mean, yeah, kind of the same thing, but you know,
So
at the end
I
of
know in college sports they make you do it in college sports. Football, I mean, like it's very informal in
mhm.
football, basketball. Hockey does it in the playoffs.
Right, and I like the way hockey does that. Like, you beat yourself, you beat your opponent, you beat yourselves for 5, 6, 7 games, and then you line up all bloody and battered, and you just shake it off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You
Yep.
know, and I know baseball is really stuck in a lot of goofy traditions, which they're slowly starting to break. But I think I would like to kind of see that a little more. But
So here's
I don't have a problem with what Harper did.
I don't have a problem with it. I My thing is why is it even mentioned? Like I don't understand why it's even mentioned that he congratulated the Venezuela. Like, okay, so what? It's called
I,
sportsman.
Right, but again, I think it's playing on the fact that there's two differing opinions about Harper. Because I know people are starting to turn on Harper because flat out he's been here 7, 8 years and he hasn't won the World Series, choked in the playoffs, all that other stuff. And I think one of our friends in our chat I always battle him with the Embiid hate, but he comes back with, well, Harper is a show off and this and that. I'm like, granted, he has not won the same way Embiid has, and we've argued this on the show, but he's done more to try to win than, in my opinion, Embiid has. Now it could be changing,
So you're giving him an A for effort, is what you're saying, or a
right?
B,
I
B
give him a B plus, A minus for effort, but for execution, it's been a C or a D. He has not won, plain and simple.
no,
So,
execution is an F.
yeah,
It's an F.
you know, I give him
B,
credit for the one. So I have to give him credit for one of the
Jalen
playoffs because,
A won the
huh?
Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts is an A. He gets an
Right,
A for
right,
Embiid, Harper, anybody on the Flyers. They all get Fs.
right.
Effort ain't. I mean, the effort's there, but the
I would only give Embiid. I mean, I would only give Harper a C for the simple fact that the one year he literally took the team on his shoulders and got us to the World Series and did not lose it. But that was because Nola can't pitch anytime after September. So, and I'm still going to hold him to that.
can only pitch one game at a time.
But the game that was
It's Nola- it's Nola-
the two
it's Nola-
games we needed, the 2 games we needed him to win, he couldn't and
What
did it.
about what about the other two games that we lost?
I blame Nola for just being there.
What about the game we got no hit in the World Series?
Again, it's a dual
Both
thing.
might have been pitching that game, but we got no hit in the World Series. The night after hitting like 11 home runs in the World Series. Real quick, I'm going off script real quick. I was sent this. I was sent this thing about Johan Rojas, who was suspended 80 games for an illegal substance. So it says Johan Rojas was. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Okay, maybe you do. Johan Rojas was using boldenone, an anabolic steroid developed for horses.
Yes.
This means Rojas is not only suspended for 80 games, but he is also ineligible to run in the Kentucky Derby. Come on, man.
And I meant to put that in there. So I saw that earlier, and I was thinking to myself, like, I mean, this kind of trumps Jerkson Profar for what is this, his second suspension or whatever. At
No,
least his,
no.
I think it's well.
Here's
at,
why. Here's why, though. Here's why I say no. Jerickson Profar did it twice. Like Johan Rojas, you ain't had no reason to do it for real, for real. Like, you're fast. You're a great defender. These horse tranquilizer, whatever they are, wasn't going to help you hit the ball better.
right,
Jerickson Profar, you did it twice, dog.
right, but at least with Profar, it was something along the lines of like something that would normally be used is just banned. With Rojas, it's like a horse tranquilizer. Like you should know.
Yep. I
You know what I mean? Like seriously.
completely agree with you there. Completely. Back to the script. Schwarber takes off his silver medal before he reaches the dugout. Again, I'm going to let you give your take on this. I didn't know about this till I saw it in the notes. I'm going to let you give your take, and maybe you can give me some perspective. But I'm going to give.
So the video that was it was a post game interview, or not post game interview. I'm sorry. It was the post game of the commissioner giving out the silver medals, and he's giving them out, and then there's like a close up on Schwarber. He gets the medal. They interview him real quick, and as he's walking off, it's like I can't remember who was being interviewed, but one person was interviewing another. You see Schwarber slowly walking into the dugout, and he just takes his medal off. I read another report that he wasn't the only one that did it. Um, but there's a couple of different storylines that kind of go by. One was he was just very upset that they lost and they should have won and he should be wearing gold. But the other portion of it was some of the backlash from the manager Mark DeRosa's handling of the game. So, long story short, Mason Miller, who's one of the best young closers of today, pitches for the San Diego Padres.
Well, hold on. Before you get into that,
Mhm.
let me give a little perspective. Let me give my perspective on the Schwarber thing because
Okay.
I'm gonna let you get into that because that's I think we're gonna have a good conversation about that. Um, Schwarber takes his silver. Like that's not a big deal. It's just it's not. Like I guess people see it as sore loser, maybe.
I
Maybe
mean,
they see it
and he did. It wasn't like he snatched it off. He just was like this, and he
like
just
did he
went into the bank.
right? He didn't snatch it and throw it over. He took it off. Maybe he didn't want to wear it. Maybe the ribbon thing was bothering his. I don't know. But here's the thing, and maybe this is just the competitor in me, Miguel. I don't know. So let me ask you because I know I would not be happy with a silver medal in any competition. Right? I'm in the competition to win. Right? Unless I'm like the last ranked person and I end up with a silver medal, okay, I can be satisfied with that because I wasn't even supposed to be there. But if I'm in the competition and your goal is the gold medal to be number one, I'm not happy with number two. And that's me. I'm a competitive person. I'm not happy. I'll give you perspective. I play golf with my uncles a lot, right? They've been playing for years. They're way better than me. I am not happy when I lose to them in golf at all. At all. I am not happy. I've gotten to the point where I can mask it. You know what I mean? But they still know I'm not happy with not winning. Like I'm very competitive. So I'm not like me saying that kind of makes Schwarber sound like a sore loser, but he took the medal off, y'all. Why, come on, man. At some point, they're going to take the medals off. At some point, they got to get in the shower. They got to change their clothes, whatever the case may be. Now, as far as earning the silver medal, the second place trophy, Miguel, talk about that. As far as the when it comes to Mark DeRosa and the decisions that were being made there. You did it. You did
Ah,
it.
you shut your face. You
You
shut
did
your face.
it.
Whatever. Anyway, I learned it from watching you. Um, jerk. So Mark DeRosa, the manager of the USA team, that's twice, right? He has a couple. He's made a couple of decisions that are kind of mind boggling. The first big blunder was when they lost to Italy, and he didn't realize that the next day he would actually have to play. Um, he'd have to play to actually advance into the pool. He actually thought, well, this was just a nothing game against Italy, so I'll put my second or third best lineup in, and he played the game as such and lost the game. Luckily, they won and got to advance to the semis and then the finals. So he was getting bad press from that. So the DeRosa decision yesterday was in the ninth inning. Now they're the home team, so after the ninth inning, for those that know baseball, if you're tied, then your closer's not going to get the save, not going to earn the save because they lose that advantage of being the home team at that point, getting the save. The save doesn't apply. But he had the opportunity to use this pitcher who is again a top 10 closer, young firing arm, but instead he chose to use a different pitcher from I believe the Red Sox. Not as good as Mason. He's just kind of a body pitcher, and he's the one that gave up the winning run to lose the championship. Now, rumor has it that the manager of the San Diego Padres and MLB officials told DeRosa, listen, unless it's a safe situation, don't use Mason Miller because remember, we're in spring training and they got to rev up for that. And granted, in the World Baseball Classic, there are pitch counts to subscribe to subscribe to because when the World Baseball Classic happens, it's during spring training, so all these players and teams are kind of getting ramped up for the regular season. So of course, Major League Baseball cares about their product, and that's why they have restrictions on pitchers that they actually put on the World Baseball Classic managers. So he still had the opportunity to use them, but he actually said that unless it's a safe situation, I'm not going to use them. So he kind of sacrificed one for the other. And then he was asked the question at the end in the presser, would he like if he was asked to come back, would he, want to come back? He said, absolutely, I'd love to come back. Yeah, Josh. So
Talking about DeRosa?
mhm. he said, yeah, absolutely, I would love to come back. So
Is is DeRosa a manager in the majors?
he's an analyst on a one of those podcast shows.
So they don't
He's a former major leaguer, but he's never managed. He's never
yeah,
coached.
yeah. So they don't have current major league managers manage the WBC. Like I noticed the pool host was with I think Puerto Rico. Um
Dominican.
it was a
No,
Dominican.
Yadier Molina is the manager of Puerto Rico. He's a former major league catcher, one of the
And
greatest.
I saw that Dusty Baker was
Hmm.
managing Nicaragua. Can
Hmm.
you say that? Because I know you're going to say it correctly.
Nicaragua. You said it.
Okay, there you go. No,
I
no,
wrote one R. That was.
you said it correctly. I just said the word. You said it correctly. um, but no current major league managers are man. I mean, I guess because they have to be with their team to manage, the preseason, the spring
Mhm.
training.
Right.
Um, here's the other question I have for you, Miguel. Um, when did Mason Miller become a Padre? Was it a trade deadline thing last year? I thought he was still on the Athletics.
Mm-mm. No, he was traded. He was traded last year, but I don't remember if it was at the deadline or before then. But yeah, he was traded.
Because I know the Phillies. I know the Phillies. There was some talk about the Phillies were interested, and then they went and
Hmm.
got uh,
Duran.
Durant. Um, so let's talk about the restrictions. So actually, more so, is there a resolution to these types of things? So, and this is what I'm talking about. You watch basketball in the Olympics. There's no
Hmm.
restrictions. Of course, the basketball season's not going on. Like they're not going to say LeBron can only play 20 minutes a night because he has an NBA contract. Um, they're going to go after it with the World Baseball Classic being when it is in spring training. And is there a way that you and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but is there a way to make it better? I guess. Like the World Baseball Classic, it seems great to me. But there's guys on pitching restrictions. There's guys that Mason Miller, Padres said, look, unless it's a safe situation, don't use them. But in baseball, you will use your closer to get you through that last inning sometimes, and put other people in to fill in the void. If